Hello, welcome in. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in before. I see you're looking at our wood sculpture there. It's a kind of an architectural design. Oh yes, yes. Are you looking for anything particular? Novelty books. Perfect, yes, absolutely. We do have a fairly decent sized selection. Is there anything particular you have in mind? Miniature. Absolutely, actually we have some quite sweet little ones that we just got in, and I will be happy to show them to you. Take a seat. Okay, here we are. And are you all settled and comfortable? Perfect. Alright, well, the first book I'm going to show you is The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. And as you can see, this has a green cover, and it does have kind of a seal on the back. Very nice. So I'm just going to open up some of the pages for you to see. Quite small. So this is actually The Happy Prince and Other Tales. And as you know probably, Oscar Wilde was an Irish author, and his work is generally quite comical. And The Happy Prince is quite a good story actually. So we have several of these books with this kind of cover. Oops. As you can see, there's another one. And you can get them as a set or individually, of course. So the next book I'm going to show you is also part of the set. It is Peles and Millicent by Maurice Maeterlinck. Maurice Maeterlinck, and it is a play. Quite interesting. It's kind of in the old classical style. As you can see, it has the scene setups and everything. It's quite entertaining. I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for something a bit more novel than perhaps an Oscar Wilde miniature book. So this one again has the green leather binding, and we will continue on. Okay, and the next one is yet another book in the same collection with the green leather binding, very soft. And as you can see, it is a bit delicate, and this one is actually a narrative poem called The Land of Heart's Desire, and it is by an author, W.B. Yeats. This is quite an interesting one. I like it. Again, quite different. I like narrative poems because they're kind of a combination of a play and a novel. So this one might be something that your friend would like, just for something different. And if they are into classical, obviously all of the selection we have at the moment are classical, but if they like kind of older style literature, they'll definitely like a narrative poem like this. So, moving on to the next. This is a novel, I believe. Let's see. Oh, this is a drama called Pippa Passes by Robert Browning. Now, I don't know, is your friend a fan of Robert Browning? Oh good, yes, as am I. He is one of my favourites, and this one is quite a good work. But if she's a fan, of Robert Browning and that style of narration that is somewhat lyrical, somewhat kind of a poetry, almost a play as well. It's quite an interesting read. So the next, I'm actually going to break it up a little bit and show you a similar style of book, but with a red cover. Again, this is by Robert Browning, and this is a collection of poems. As you can see, this one is in fairly delicate shape, but still looks very good. And if your friend is a fan of Robert Browning, then this could be quite a good item to add to her collection. And we would have possibly both of these. Another book I am going to show you now. This one is in, as you can see, slightly more delicate condition. The cover is a bit torn and ragged. And this one is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. This is one of my personal favourites. I absolutely love this play. It is incredibly humorous and creative and imaginative and well written. If your friend is a fan of humoristic literature, then this would definitely be something I would recommend, and would make quite a good addition to any library. The next work is, as you can see, this one is loose in its binding. On the same note, it is Lady Windermere's Fan by, again, Oscar Wilde. Follows the same style, the kind of humoristic approach, very sarcastic, dry, ironic. Quite an interesting story as well. I like it. So again, quite a good addition to a library if she's a fan of Oscar Wilde. Moving on to the next. Here we have yet another item in that collection, and this one is A Tilly Loss Scandal by J.M. Barrie. So another very good classic. So another very good classic, and this one is probably in quite a bit more delicate shape than the others I've shown you. As you can see, it is quite loose in its binding and the pages are not all stuck together, but the story is absolutely wonderful. If your friend is a fan of Peter Pan or any other works by J.M. Barrie, this would definitely be a good item to add to her collection. So let's see what we've shown you. Now we'll go on to another item. So, Lancelot and Elaine by Alfred Tennyson is again quite a classical work of literature. Anyone who is, I suppose, into classical literature will know about Tennyson. It is one of his more famous works, and quite a good one. It's not my absolute favourite style because it's a little bit too, I don't know, sappy, I suppose, for me. But it is still a very good piece of literature and fun to have in your collection. Alright, finally we do have one more piece here, and this one is Salome A Tragedy in One Act by, yet again, Oscar Wilde. This is, again, a very good piece of literature, good piece of work, quite entertaining. It is a bit different from some of his other plays and works, but that might be nice if your friend likes Oscar Wilde and wants to add something that is a little bit different in style and tone. She could add this to her collection. So that actually completes that set of books, and as I said, you can get them individually or as a complete set. It is entirely up to you. Let me see, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of literature in that collection. And then of course, if you wanted to count the little red one, there would be 10. So, all very good pieces of literature, all something that would be quite fun and quite interesting to add to any collection. So, now we do have a few other books I can show you as well. I'll move these to the side here. So another item, we have 2 of these, well, we have a few of these actually. I think we just got a new shipment in. They are blank. This one's used, obviously. They are blank though, so you can, if your friend is a fan of journaling or writing down her thoughts, or even just a nice something to keep grocery lists in, these books are great. They're quite small. They do come with a red ribbon bookmark, as you can see, to hold your place, and then this stretchy band to keep them closed so that the pages don't get damaged if you do put them inside a bag or something like that. As you can see though, it does have quite a nice shine to it with the etchings, and it is textured as well. Some of the pattern is raised. And it is quite an attractive stamping pattern. And yes, just quite a sweet little book. And as I said, we do have 2 of these out on the floor at the moment, but we did get a new shipment in, so we have some more. I think quite a nice little touch, personal, that you could add to your library. And it's good for keeping notes. I know your friend is a fan of books. I don't know if they write their own stories, but of course if they do like keeping notebooks with them to jot down ideas, these would probably be quite ideal based on the size, and of course they have quite a nice appearance as well. So that's notebooks that we have. I will move them to the side as well. Another item that we have is A Midsummer Night's Dream. As you can see, this is not an antique book as the other books have been. This is more modern in design, with quite a nice, actually, stiff leather cover in kind of a maroon shade. And as you can see, it is in perfect shape, brand new. And if your friend is a fan of comedic literature, A Midsummer Night's Dream you can't go wrong with. I mean, any Shakespeare obviously is classic and perfection. But if your friend does lean towards humoristic poems, plays, novels, then you really can't go wrong with Midsummer Night's Dream. And it is quite a cute little small novel. It's a good item to add to any collection of miniature books. So I will put that there. And let's see, I believe we have a few more. Yes. We have here something even smaller. This one is Two Gentlemen of Verona. Again, Shakespeare. And as you can see, we do keep this one in a little bag, just because it is actually antique and it is quite small and we don't want it to be damaged. But the bag does the trick. I'll just open this up so you can take a look. Sorry. Okay. As you can see, it does have the title and a few etchings on the edge here. Very nice. And then the story is inside. How cool is that? It's so tiny. But it does contain the entire play. The pages are a bit yellowed with age, but in really excellent condition. And it has this cute pattern on the front pages of the book. And then we get the title page here. And here we go. These are some of the title pages. And it does even have some pictures. Yes, that is quite interesting, isn't it? I love this one. I think this is so cool. And if your friend is a fan of classic literature, obviously Shakespeare is always a safe choice. And Two Gentlemen of Verona, I mean, wonderful, wonderful work. So, if you think your friend would like something like this, and does have, quite a starter pack of miniature book collection, this would definitely be an excellent addition. And it is fascinating, really, because it is so tiny, and yet it does have the complete play. It's still legible, even it's not too tiny to read. And it does have some excellent details like that title page and the picture, and as you can see the font is really quite beautiful as well. So quite a bit of detailing on this one. So I definitely recommend this one if your friend is looking to add something even a bit more novel to her collection than a regular miniature book. So we'll just slip this one back into its pouch. and close it up. And obviously when your friend has it, she doesn't necessarily need to keep it in the bag like this, but we are a shop and lots of people come through and handle our items, and we wanted to keep this safe and protected from rough fingers as well as the natural elements. So as you can see, it has done quite a good job too. So that might be another really good option. And oh, here's another one. If your friend does enjoy notebooks, this might be quite a good option as well. This is a handmade leather journal from Italy, and as you can see, the pages are crisp, straight edged, and it is in perfect condition. Yes. So if your friend does enjoy having a notebook or something like that on her at all times, this would be an excellent option. Again, it is tiny, you can carry it with you, but it is incredibly attractive, and the leather is hand tooled, hand bound, and quite durable as well. And it does have this nice tie that you can put around it to keep it pages safe if it's in a bag or something like that. So this is definitely a good recommendation for her, and she could just tie it up like so. I would probably tuck this a bit in here, and then she could keep it in her bag and have it whenever she needed it. I like this one quite a lot. The green I think is very attractive. So I would definitely recommend this one, and as you can feel, it is very soft, pliable leather that has been used. Very good quality. So I would definitely highly recommend this little book. So we do have some other ones we can move forward here. Now, I am quite a big fan of reading books, and I would generally not recommend a book on the way it looks. However, that being said, we do have this incredibly beautiful edition. You can see the binding is just breathtaking. Let me move these out of the way a bit. There we are. Now you can see it. The spine work, the detail, the artistry really of this binding is just beautiful. The gold leaf and the colours are incredible. As you can see, it is in rather delicate condition. You can see that the binding is coming away here a bit, but it is quite beautiful and really would look just stunning on any bookshelf. And as you can see, we have the gold leaf trim around the edges of the work on the cover and the back, and it is very high quality hard leather, very soft, very soft, and it makes that wonderful book sound. hear that. I think that is one of my favourite things about old books, is the sounds that they make. I know it's quite strange, but there you have it. And as you can see, it has this interesting pattern here on the cover. And the book itself is Sesame and Lilies by John Ruskin. Now, as I said, I'm generally not the type of person to recommend a book based on the cover or how it looks, but I just think the spine of this book is so beautiful. The colours and quality of the leather and the workmanship really would make it a fantastic addition to any bookshelf. So our next item is again one based on recommendation of the attractiveness of the novel. Actually, I think this one is a novel. This is by Ruskin again. Sorry, I'll move that back. This is by the same author. And as you can see, this has got again a gold leaf pattern. And just stunning. We have kind of a blue side here and then a cream side, but the gold leaf pattern really jumps out at you on either side, and it is raised, so it gives it quite a nice texture, quite a nice feel. But yes, absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And picture of the author there, and the stamp of the printer. And this one is 4 lectures by Ruskin, The Crown of Wild Olive, and it is on work, traffic, war, and the future of England. So I mean, even though I am recommending this based on the workmanship and artistry of the cover, it does sound like it would actually be somewhat interesting to read, at least. I always like to read the philosophical concepts of past generations. I think it's quite fascinating. The scholastic and academic discussions on societal structures I just find quite interesting, and this one would probably be no exception. But again, to me, really the recommendation for this one is based on this beautiful cover. So, moving on. The next item I have to show you is another hand-tooled journal. As you can see, it has absolutely gorgeous design, very detailed, and still kind of subtle. It is raised. It is high quality leather here. I'll just unwind this. So this might be a good option for your friend if she likes journals as well, as well, bigger than the other ones I've shown you. Still a decent size for you to put in a bag or keep on a table by your desk or your bed and take notes, write down your ideas, or if she is a fan of journaling, she can certainly do that in here and have an incredibly attractive container for her thoughts. So, as you can see, like I said, the cover is hand tooled, really quite beautiful. These patterns on here, the leather is rich and soft and a lovely deep brown kind of reddish colour. And again, this is from Italy, and the pages are well cut and of really excellent quality, nice and thick cardstock, very artisan. So I definitely recommend this if your friend's a fan of notebooks or anything of that sort. Now I have 2 more notebooks I'm going to show you. Oh, maybe 3. So let me put that back here. Right. The next one I'm going to show you is just another blank notebook. And let me raise that so you can see. It is beads in kind of an iridescent colour of shade of green. Quite lovely. And it is again a blank notebook with lined pages. And then the back is a raw silk, cushioned, and it is in the same shade as the beading at the front. But this is excellent quality. Again, this is handmade, not the cover obviously, but it is hand bound, I should say. And it is quite beautiful. Let you hear that sound of the cushioned raw silk. Absolutely lovely. So, as you can see, it has a very subtle kind of pattern because it is the raw silk. Beautiful. Okay, now I do have, because you said your friend does enjoy notebooks and journaling, I do have another piece to show you. This is another hand-bound journal. As you can see, it does have an engraved message at the front, an excerpt. And if your friend does like, as you said, journaling, things like quotations and other literary elements, she will really appreciate this beautiful hand-bound journal. Absolutely gorgeous, with very good high quality leather. The pages, again, if you pull off this rubber band here, the pages are of excellent quality. Thick paper, very, very soft, almost feels like fabric. Very well bound, very well stitched, as you can see. And the message that has been stamped by hand on the cover is a quote by Maya Angelou, and it says, if you must look back do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is be present in the present gratefully. So, nice little thought. If you are jotting down your own thoughts or journaling about your experiences, kind of a nice lens to put on what you're writing about. So that's one. The other journal we have is similar to that one. Again, it is hand tooled with excellent stitching quality, and we'll pull that off and I'll show you. The paper is the same as the other one, very thick, very soft, high quality, well crafted. The paper is that almost like fabric again, and then we have the underside of the leather, which is incredibly soft here. Very well stitched and put together. As you can see, this leather is not as dark as some of the other ones I've shown you. It's kind of a light leather, but because of the shade of the leather, it really shows the pattern, which I think is just entrancing. So on the cover of this one is a quote by J.R.R. Tolkien, one of my personal favourite authors. I do love The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and his other works as well. This quote says, "All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king." So if your friend is a fan of classical literature, I'm sure she has read The Lord of the Rings. And quite a good quote to have on there. I like this one. But yes, again, kind of, I like things like this on these hand-tooled journals because I find that if you are looking to write down your thoughts and experiences, that things like this really help to boost your own creativity and kind of encourage a frame of thought. So that is some of the items that we have in the store today. I hope you saw something that you like. Did you? Excellent. And you thought you would... Okay. I think those are some excellent choices. I think your friend will be incredibly pleased. I'm so glad you visited us today. It's always nice to make new friends. And I hope you feel free to come back anytime, do some more exploring, and perhaps get something for yourself next time. Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for coming by. I will get your selected items wrapped up, and we do have some really nice gift wrapping that we'll put together so that your friend will open her treasure and be extremely surprised. Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for coming by. If you'll just join me over at the counter and we will get you ready to go. Perfect. Alright, right this way.